It's me.
Can you believe that, man?
The last word.
Yeah, that's right. You got it. Last word.
Welcome back to The Last Word. I'm your host, Owen L. Baxter, and we have got another great show lined up. Thank you for tuning in. But before we get started, won't you take the time to like, comment, and subscribe, because we want to hear from you. Let's get right into it. Over the weekend, we saw what we didn't think we were going to see, but it happened. The Celtics will advance to face the Miami Heat in the conference finals for the third time in the last 4 seasons. Jayson Tatum shot 6 of 10 from deep and 17 for 28 overall to set a mark for the most points in a Game 7 in NBA history. Now, Jaylen Brown also added 25 points with 6 rebounds. Malcolm Brogdon, 12 points, which helped for the victory, so you can't dog it. And also, for the 76ers, you got Tobias Harris. He leads the way with 19 points. James Harden nor Joel Embiid could find their scoring touch. Can you believe Embiid finishes with 15 points? He shot 5 of 18. And James Harden just musters up 9 points, shooting 3 of 11. Disappointing finals again for the 76ers. How do they find themselves here again, over and over again? A lot of questions have to be answered. The 76ers go down to the Boston Celtics. Now, what would you think is the main reason why the 76ers lost? Is it that Tatum showed up with 51 points, or is it that Joel Embiid or Harden just didn't show up? Now, if you ask me, Harden, you had an opportunity to at least do something more than what you did. I mean, 9 points in a closeout game, Game 7, too many times. Your new name is Too Many Games James. Too many games James. Have we seen this over and over again? Now, at the end of the season, your contract's up. You're going to be up for a contract. Are you going to be calling on other teams? I don't know who's going to be really interested, because unless you're looking to give a team a really good friendly deal or friendly contract, I don't know where you're going to go based on what the people have seen over and over again, time and time again. James Harden just doesn't show up. Yes, he gave us 2 games, but too many games, James. We've seen it over and over again. And then the second MVP, you have Joel Embiid. He was hurt supposedly at the beginning of the series, but when I seen his defense that he was been playing over the span of 4 or 5 games, it looked like there was nothing wrong with his knee. But what I seen is a lack of basketball IQ. And this is where people need to respect a legend like Shaq O'Neal. The Diesel would understand that his strength is his size. Mm-hmm. So he's going to dominate in the paint. He's going to plant himself down, maybe 1 or 2 dribbles, and he's going to give you that offensive move, whether it's a dunk, whether it's a layup, whether it's a skyhook, whatever it is, he's going to give you a high percentage shot. Joel Embiid is out there giving him Patrick Ewing fadeaways against Marcus Smarts. How's that going to happen? That's not going to win you ball games. That's just not going to get it done. And then you have Harden. Oh, man. Where did his offense go? Like, it shows up sometimes and it disappears. I don't understand. And I think I'm going to have to get a petition started. I know it's a long shot, but maybe we can get this started some way, somehow. We're going to have to think about revoking some nominations for the 75 greatest players in NBA history, because how Harden's on that list is a mystery to me. Because those performances that he's put in on the playoffs, too many games, James. I'm sorry. I can't give you that rate, that high status. I just can't. What do you think led to the 76ers demise? Is it the Tatum factor? I don't think so, because...
Are you done or are you finished? Because all of this riddle... You are hurting. You are.
Yeah.
And hell have no fury like a scoring host. This is the same host who sat here on
the book.
May 8th, looked me dead in my eyes, told me that my man, Big Game James, yes, Big Game James. Right here is where we roll the clip of the sentence. The disrespect.
Give him the disrespect.
You said Big Game James.
It's changed.
Your main man James.
It's changed.
Would have not one, not two, but 3 big games in the series. You guarantee.
He got 2 though. He got 2.
Yes, he got 2. And too little. As we've seen in the last 2 games where he shot what? 3 for 11 and 4 for 16. 0 for 6 in both games in the fourth quarter. This is your king?
I didn't say
this is your big game, James? The disrespect. I can't believe it. And now to hear you poo-pooing on his credentials left and right. You should have some empathy, some sympathy for this guy.
Too many games.
The guy you believed in would be able to take Philly over the top. But to me, this has way more to do with obviously the Boston Celtics, and I believe their disappointing play to even get to this point where we're talking about a Game 7 against this Philadelphia team that's lacking. But while we're poo-pooing on guys, I got to save a dose for Embiid here. Embiid, the MVP, yes, and we know no MVP has won a title since LeBron in 2012.
Can I just interject here?
No, just 1 second. I don't want to hear from you no more. No. It better be important because
I'm gonna say MVP, Joel Embiid. I've renamed him as well. The MMP, the most miserable player. Continue on your rant, sir.
Interrupt me for that. Where was I? I was poo-pooing on Joel. Anyways, again, as you mentioned, 5 for 18 in this win-or-go-home game. This guy, to me, was the most shocking thing is this guy was taking only about 5 shots in the paint for the series. 5 shots in the paint. That is crazy. That's bananas. For a guy of his physical dominance to not be going and constantly throughout the game, seeing Marcus Smart holding him and in the post, and him deciding to go to a fadeaway jump shot while by being defended by Marcus Smart, and these opportunities are crazy. Hanging out at the 3-point line, taking 7-8 threes in the game. That's not a winning formula, and unfortunately, for as good as his help defense is in terms of blocking shots, Embiid was exposed numerous times by Tatum when he got in the situation switching off to Tatum. Tatum was just eating his lunch constantly. So as good as he is for shot blocking and protecting of the rim, he was looking like Jokic out there on the perimeter trying to help in space on defense. Wow, Embiid, I guess it just adds to the MVP, curse since LeBron, but this Philly team needs to do something, man.
It's not going to look good this offseason when a lot of questions have to be answered. You're looking at Joel Embiid, looking at his side. James Harden's going to be up for his contract. What happens there?
Your boy?
Too many game James. And another question do we have to answer? Doc Rivers, what's going to be his fate? I mean, we've seen coaches dropping like flies, so does this mean since Monty Williams is now gone, they didn't play around. It was like right after the Phoenix Suns loss, Monty was out the door. Is Doc on the hot seat, or do we? Because Joel Embiid has
hold on. Before you go over and continue on that direction, I think we need to pay some respects to Jayson Tatum and what he did over the last quarter of the Game 6 and into Game 7, because this guy has literally rewritten how his narrative of his career and how people are gonna view him. Because it was going to be a real crap show if that game ended them losing and out of the playoffs in Game 6.
I think
him shooting like that.
I think where the series change was the last game, Game 6. The fourth quarter in Game 6 when he started to wake up. That's when, you know.
Oh yeah, obviously, right? Him changing the atrocious game that he was playing, right? Shooting 1 for 14 or whatever, and then in that fourth quarter he outscored Philly and just changed the trajectory of how people are going to view him. Because again, last year losing in the finals, this year losing to Philly would have put a real stain on that on him and his ability to catapult into that upper exclusive echelon in the league. Which, hey, with a finish this season with a title, he's right in there. He's fighting for that top player in the league status. So. What a 360 on the narrative for him.
And you know the one, I think there was a little bit of an competitive advantage that Jayson Tatum had because he actually trains with Joel Embiid in the offseason.
Yeah.
So it's nothing new to Jayson Tatum when he sees Joel Embiid trying to defend him at the 3-point line. He's like, I've been doing this to you all summer long, buddy. And now I'm going to show you why you're not the real MVP, man. I'm going to make you the MMP, you know?
Are the Joel memes of him crying back out yet?
It's just most miserable player.
Are they back out yet, the tears?